DOJ has officially released all of the Epstein files, and here's what we know so far. According to an email, Bill Gates had caught an STD from one of the Russian girls and reached out to Epstein to get antibiotics that he could secretly give Melinda, which is probably one of the reasons when talking about her divorce, she said this.
Yeah, as I said, it's not one thing, it was many things. But I did not like that he'd had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, no.
Emails show that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't just trafficking these girls, but apparently also torturing them as well, possibly to death. You have to wonder why these names are still being redacted. Elon Musk is now in the files for the first time from emails in 2013, where him and Jeffrey Epstein were going back about Jeffrey Epstein sending him a helicopter, possibly to go visit his island, considering that Musk was in the British Virgin Islands, only 15-minute flight away. No shocker here, Hillary Clinton had invited Jeffrey Epstein to a very intimate fundraiser, but it was hosted by Howard Lutnick, our current Secretary of Commerce. And when it comes to Lutnick, it doesn't stop there. There's an email that Jeffrey Epstein had donated $50,000 in Howard's honor. Files were posted that accused President Trump via a tip line of inappropriate behavior, to say the least. Then the DOJ took those files down, but now they are back up for you to read for yourself. None of these claims against President Trump were substantiated because either no contact were made or they were considered invalid. And speaking of Trump, there's a Jeffrey Epstein email that says that he was planning to visit Mar-a-Lago in 2012 after Trump apparently banned him in 2003. There's a report that says that Prince Andrew tortured a girl that was trafficked by Ghislaine Maxwell. And when it comes to Epstein, it appears that the only thing 18 years and older are the people that want to read the files. There are over 3 million new pages, 2,000.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. She misspoke there at the beginning. She said all the files have dropped. This is definitely not all the files. This is just a lot of files dropped, you know. And again, it's just more or less, I mean, is it interesting to see what's there? But I mean, there's not enough there to get anybody on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so we have, I mean, even people like, I saw the Krasenstein's brothers on Twitter the other day were like posting videos of some of the kid victims and videos and stuff dressed up as sailors. And it's like, what is this going to do though? Like, who are these kids? Mm-hmm. Who are they going to point fingers against? You know, like the Krasenstein's hope would be that they'll be like, it was Trump. Trump made me dress up as a little Donald Duck sailor, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, I think the truth is far sadder than reality. I mean, I think the reality is nothing is going to come of this. None of these people are going to be held accountable. None of these people are going to be prosecuted. And I know that sounds kind of black-pilled, but again, if these people are going to be transparent, the only way that this is going to work is if some black ops group goes out and just posts everything, you know. But again, there are so many people connected to this in power. I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, we know that there are people currently being paid. The judges are being paid off by the Sinaloa cartel not too long ago.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't Jeffrey Epstein just be able to pay these judges off and be like, hey, yeah, no, just sweep this under the rug?
It does make you wonder, is like, whatever happened with Anonymous? You know, Anonymous comes out every once in a while, like, we will, you know, do these things. Like, they don't ever do anything when it comes to this. This is why I honestly think a lot of Anonymous is like
government
propaganda, or like, you know, government trying to like change the narrative about something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because where are they now? You think with everything that's going on right now, there would be a huge like break of these supposed internet hackers that would be all over crap like this.
Yep. Like, I'll hack into the government agencies and push this out.
Mm-hmm.
But where is the who's that guy that Oliver Stone made that movie about?
Oh,
what's his name?
Oh,
lives in Russia now.
Yeah, what was his name? Crap. See, that's how that was like the biggest news back in the day, and now that's like nothing compared to what's going on nowadays. What was that guy's name? Edward Snowden.
Yes, Snowden. Yeah. Where's the Snowden for the Epstein files? You know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And again, everyone that I've been seeing is like talking about how, like, you know, the FBI has an incentive not to incriminate Trump. It's like, are we forgetting that when Trump first when Trump's just got in with his new FBI people, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, and all them, like the FBI agents that were still working
Hid
were
all the
hiding
files
the files. So
in
he
locked rooms that nobody'd been in a long time.
Yeah, so he actively has FBI agents working against him, and he still possibly does, because some of those people are actively like will show their resentment against Trump, like, all right, you're fired then, we don't want you here anymore. Whereas some of them will be like, are going to be wolves and sheep going, yeah, I'm helping, I'll do everything I can.
Of course
and then,
I'll help you with this.
Then they're still not doing anything. So that's where I'm at in all this.
Yep. So, I mean, it's sad, but, I mean, again, these videos and all these things that come out, like, what's going to happen? Again, nothing. Yeah. Nothing's going to happen because, and again, the stuff that you really want to see, they're never going to put out there. Again, I think Jeffrey Epstein was one was a CIA asset, but he was also a Mossad asset, as well as asset for any country that was willing to pay him money.
Yeah.
It's like, I guarantee if Turkey called him, was like, hey, would you be willing to get some dirt on this person for us? And he'd be like, how much you got? Or, again, in this case, one of the files reveals that Turkey was actually helping him with a trafficking ring. Like, they would traffic girls to his island.
Yep.
The Turkish government was involved with Epstein getting underage girls there.
Yeah. So we'll start with the first one, which, the one that everybody wants to talk about is the fact that the only allegation that can hold like any water against Trump right now is the 2025 new, FBI ones. Like, there are some people who called, but all the ones who've called in now are in 2025. So the question that we always ask is, why didn't these ladies come forward when the original Epstein trial back in 2008? Or that was when the conviction happened, so the trial was probably happening in like 2007, really. But back in we'll just say 2008 because that's when he got his conviction. Like, why were these girls during 2008 when all the victims were coming out? Like, the only thing you could possibly say is like the lawyers that were doing this case, like, your testimony will hold no water in court. Yeah. That's the only thing you could possibly argue. But anyway, this is the first one that we're going to kind of talk about is the woman who did accuse Trump, exclusive from the Daily Mail. The troubled woman with a history of drug use claimed that she was assaulted by Donald Trump at the Jeffrey Epstein sex party at age 13, made it all up. And again, you're not seeing this being posted anywhere on the internet right now. It's like they're only talking about how there's anonymous sources from 2025 that are accusing Trump again.
Yeah.
So, exclusively troubled when you have on Friday, a lawsuit was filed against Trump by Katie Johnson, was dramatically dropped. Speculation that the suit was dropped because of threats or payoff by Trump went viral. But the DailyMail.com has learned that the claims made against Trump were fiction. Katie Johnson's shocking allegations first emerged in a lawsuit filed in California in April. She claimed that she was lured to a sex party by the pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, where she was forced into rough role play with the presidential candidate. On Wednesday, why is he a presidential candidate now?
Yeah.
He's the president. I don't understand that.
It's fun words. It's fun description words.
On Wednesday, Johnson suddenly canceled a press conference at which she was set to reveal herself for the first time. Before that, she told the story to DailyMail.com. Clinton supporters had seized on the story as a possible knockout blow. Ryan Perry was West Coast correspondent for the Daily Mail. Okay, wow. So, as you can see, she's completely taken back herself. So Jeffrey Epstein emailed Michelle Wolf in 2019, which he admits that the President Trump never got a message while at the White House. Another massive blow to the Democrat hoax.
Again, it's just hopes. They're putting all their eggs in this basket to be like, this is the one. This is finally the one.
The only thing that I can say to this is like, because this has been so damning for Democrats and all their donors, all this Epstein stuff. It's like they're literally the only thing that they're hanging their hopes on is like, look, Donald Trump too. Donald Trump did bad stuff too. That's literally what this is. It's like, this is literally, you think your hands are clean, like, as if you've never done anything wrong, Republicans. Like, by the metric of comparison, by wrongdoings and all the fraud allegations and theft and the people who have visited the island, it's Democrats by a freaking, not by a nose, by a mile in regards to anything that you can hold a Republican on. Because a Republican will actually hold themselves accountable for things. Democrats will not. They'll just pretend like it never happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's see here. A complaint was spoken, deemed not credible. In addition, research showed that 3 separate incidents involving police which request in mandatory psychiatric evaluations for this lady. So,
and there you go, folks. I mean, like, this is coming from money-hungry lawyers who are weaponized against Donald Trump, that are like, oh, well, absolutely, I'll do this pro bono to get Donald Trump, and then they're like, there's nothing here.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is like, why is this relevant? It's because this lady has a history of trying to file court accusations against people, probably just to try to sue people and get money. Mm-hmm. She is this woman is a charlatan that only cares about getting money and attention.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's the first one we're going to duck. Now the next one that everybody's been talking about, which I don't really have a lot on, but you can see from the thumbnail, is like Elon Musk is in the files. And looking at, this is the thing, I don't doubt this at all, that Elon Musk was trying to go to these parties, because look at his current family situation with all his baby mamas and all his kids. Like, there is no doubt in my mind that he is the type of guy that
have a similar philosophy. Like, they're trying to repopulate the world with geniuses. I mean, they think that they are chosen and better than everyone else, and that if the fact that they have more kids, well, their kids will make the world a better place because they're just smarter and better than you.
Except, as we can see from his kids, that is not the case. Like, he's got trans kids. A bunch of his kids hate him. Like, you cannot raise smart children to take over the world if your kids absolutely resent you.
Yes. Again, I guess Elon Musk and his dad have a bad relationship, but what does he think? It's like, me not being present in their lives is going to make them tougher and stronger. It's kind of like the boarding school kid mentality. You don't need to have mom and dad around to be a better person.
Now, this is speculation purely on my part, but this might be why there was such that huge falling out with Elon and Donald Trump back in the early hours of Elon Musk being in Doge and all that. I think that was the case because it might have been like Trump and his people are like, Elon, you're on these files, buddy. And like, this is probably why they're being released slowly. Is like, they're telling people, you're in it.
Yeah.
You're in it. And they're giving them the heads up before they just drop this stuff. And he's like, and then that's why Elon came out and was like, Trump's in the files. That's why he won't release them. And it's just like, yeah, he's in them, but everything in it seems to be completely vindicating Trump versus Elon Musk actually has emails like, yeah, I want to come to these parties. Let's go. Pick me up. Whatever.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things where these people live in it. And again, I can't blame Elon Musk totally. That's like, look, when you hear that there's this really cool socialite named Epstein that you don't know. Again, when you hear these people's names, it's not like when you're in these rich elite social circles that go, this is Epstein, the former convicted, the 20,000 time accused pedophile guy. It's like they go, no, this is Jeffrey Epstein. He's a savvy, business investor guy, and he owns an island, and he's a socialite. I mean, again, that's his job, is being a socialite.
Exactly. You meeting someone who you have no clue who they are for the first time, and you shake their hand. I mean, that's literally how they try to get Trump. Look, Trump literally shook, We'll use this because we'll just use Nick Fuentes as an example. Trump shook Nick Fuentes' hands, but Trump probably had no clue who Nick Fuentes was. It's just like, yeah, you're at a meet and greet. Someone comes up and shakes your hand. You don't know who they are when you're just meeting them for 2 seconds for the first time. Then you're like, then someone will literally just like use that media as like, look, here he is shaking this, this known pedophile or known, serial killer's hands. Like, how are you supposed to know who they are when you're just meeting them once?
Yeah, it'd be like if you were somehow transported to the past and randomly met this person. You shook their hand like, hey, man, thanks for giving me this food. It's like, it turns out that person was a young Adolf Hitler. It's like, why didn't you stop him then? It's like, what are you talking about? I had no idea who he was. Like, I had no context for who this person is. So, again, it's just ridiculous. It's just the standard. Again, you have to judge people by what you know about them at the time. And again, this is why none of this really matters anyway. Like, it means like Bill Gates being like, yeah, I'm sorry, I knew Jeffrey. It's like, but unless he's truly repenting, unless he's truly asking for God, forgiveness for God, like it has to be true acceptance and true repentance in your heart. Yep. Like, most of these people, like, whenever a celebrity or somebody like Bill Gates comes out and goes, yeah, sorry, I knew him, it's like they're not actually sorry. It's the same thing with women when they get caught cheating. They're not sorry they got caught cheating. They're not sorry they were cheating. They're sorry they got caught.
Exactly. Now, this next one that I have here is, again, now we're getting into the juicy stuff, which is the Bill Gates stuff. In 2017 email, Bill Gates discussed plans for a pandemic simulations with Jeffrey Epstein. And this is the guy, remember, this is the guy that was funding a lot of
Gain
the
of function
gain-of-function
research
research and wanting to push the vaccine mandates.
Yes, I mean that's who he is.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's the email right there. It's a little too small for me to read all that text, but I'll read some of it. Larry, I have been working on deliveries for my time at BGC3. Since you and I spoke at Larry's request, I have spoken with Roger, Mark, Chris, Trevor, and Jeff, and next time we see Bose/Jonah, everyone has offered guidance and advice on these ideas. Larry works to put together a requirement documentation that we are trying to make sure that we will make this time valuable for all. I'm not going to read all that, but you can tell, like, they're talking about this stuff. This is absolutely crazy.
And again, I don't think it's like it's the way that comedians and people on podcasts talk about, if we were going to do a pandemic, how would we do it? You know, it's like these guys are in real positions of authority and real positions of influence. Like, they can make stuff like this happen. You know, like, they'll fund it. It's like they'll put money into a secret facility in Ukraine to develop these, vaccines or these or not these vaccines, not just vaccines, but also develop viruses to launch onto society. Mm-hmm. It's like, a couple, again, these are literally the people that'll be like, a couple million people dead's worth it if we can, progress human, what would you say? It's resistance or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next one that I have here is from DC Drano. More than 3 million files were released. The internet is still reviewing them, but here are some of the major takeaways thus far. Breaking. Bill Gates was planning a pandemic simulations with Jeffrey Epstein in 2017. Let's see here. Next one. Hug your babies close. This innocent children were placed in the most evil and unimaginable, evil situation imaginable in this world, and there was no one there to rescue them. So again, remember, this is the other thing too. It's like, you remember Pizzagate? Like, the left roasted people on the right and independent journalists for accusing people of being like these code words for stuff like this. There's no radical elite massive cabal of politicians and celebrities that are doing strange untoward things with children. And as you can find out here, actually there was a lot of truth to that, and it's kind of sad that that the left and the Democrats were running cover for these people. Mm-hmm. This is how you know that the left is always siding with the side of evil. Mm-hmm. It's like Democrat. The D in Democrat is devil.
Yeah,
you are siding with the devil at every turn. What else we got? Just in, Lord Mandelson has resigned over the Epstein files.
Wonder why he did that.
Mm-hmm. I agree, Elon. We only want the rest of the Epstein files released, but we want to see arrest. What matters is not the release of some subset files, but rather the persecution of those who committed heinous crimes with Epstein. When there is at least one arrest, some justice. Yeah.
Yeah. And now, this kind of makes sense why Elon Musk is kind of leading this charge, since his name's kind of appeared,
Yeah, exactly. But again, he's also running cameras like, I want people arrested who have done things untoward, which is not wrong. But again, you're one of the people who wanted to go to this island, so
to see what it was all about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, unknowing, it's like I'm sure Elon just heard that this guy throws great parties.
Yeah. This one's just funny. Hey, Ellen, why does your set look like Epstein's island?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, but this is what I'm saying. All the stuff that we're seeing, none of it's new, really. Mm-hmm. This is all kind of stuff we already knew. Like the Ellen stuff, we already knew that stuff. We already knew that, we've already known a bunch of the stuff that we're already reading here, or
Mm-hmm.
we had bits and pieces of it.
Yeah. News, file Epstein, bombshell. Jane Fonda and Robert De Niro are in the emails. Two of the biggest Trump haters appeared to be best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. These emails detail planned handouts with Jeffrey Epstein, Jane Fonda, and Robert De Niro and Peggy Siegel.
Yep. Again, it's just what happens when you're a socialite. Epstein was paid to have dirt on all of these people so they could use them to blackmail. It's like, oh, you're going to say this on behalf of the U.S. government or something along those lines.
Yep. This next one here is a message from Jeffrey Epstein to a unnamed person here, or a redacted person. I give you permission to kill him. He is apparently with blank. He lied to you and he lied to me.
That's crazy.
Every new release, blah, blah, blah. If you run across any Democrat fools saying that there's proof that Trump assaulted a 13-year-old girl, just calmly post this screenshot of the official response to the claimant in the Epstein files and move along. This is what liberals are intentionally leaving out because they are desperate liars and they know it. Have a nice day. Complaint spoken to, which we already read this, deemed not credible. In addition, research showed that 3 separate incidents involving police which requested mandatory psychiatric evaluations. Next one is Reid Hoffman. Has been funding leftist organizations for years that protest President Trump, and cause chaos on our streets. He is a vicious anti-Trump, and now we know why. Reid Hoffman was a friend of Jeffrey Epstein who visited the island and his New Mexico ranch. Busted. Interesting that it's always the same people that hate Republicans and Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. It's always the same people.
Well, again, the most guilty people will be the ones leading the charge against their enemies, against who they deem to be their rivals who might potentially expose them. And that's exactly what's happening there. Again, and here's what we were talking about earlier. The Epstein files reveals Turkey had a human trafficking role. I mean, the country of Turkey was completely. But what do you expect? It's an Islamic country where women don't have the same rights as men.
Yeah. Turkey sent $200 million worth of kids to Epstein's island. That's Epstein.
Crazy.
Sorry. Let's see here. Each time they would travel one of those destinations, and at some patterns of social shame would occur, often with the vast away from. I can't read this; it's so small. But I'm going to try to read. I'm going to read the thing over here on the side, see if it has anything on here. But newly released documents from the Jeffrey Epstein case have spoken to the global shock as millions of pages of emails and records are now public. These files, shared under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, reveal that the sprawling network tied to Epstein's sex trafficking and abuse operation and mention of figures from politics, business, and diplomacy around the world, drawing scrutiny from Europe to the Middle East and beyond. The Middle East having a say in human trafficking and human suffering is hilarious. That's hilarious.
Again, yeah, remember, all Islamic countries are on the women's rights tribunals in the UN. Again, it's not surprising. Epstein wasn't just a CIA asset. He was an asset for all countries around the world. I bet you even China to some degree. Like, anybody who wanted dirt on somebody, it's like, hey, do you have compromising information on this person? It's like, and you wonder why these people who are in power, they have relationships with these people all around. Like, why are these people associated and affiliated? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make sense.
Yep.
But it's because they have dirt on them.
Yep.
And Epstein, that they were willing to pay a price, Epstein was willing to give it to them, I bet.
Yep. In Turkey's case, lawmakers have formally raised questions in Parliament about whether children from countries might not have been affected and whether the investigations have been launched into the claims linked to the Epstein scandal. While international coverage varies, some of the released material includes correspondence involving with people connected with Turkey and high-profile global names, contributing to mounting controversies and calls for accountability. This unfolding story has people around the world demanding answers about how deep Epstein's networks went, who was involved, and what will be done for the victims, especially minors, as the files continue to surface. Now, again, I would say Jeffrey Epstein is one man. Mm-hmm. The entire country of Turkey has been implicated in this now. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you say that a nation that's complicit in human trafficking is a little bit more important than one man?
Yep.
It's very strange. It's just like, oh, well, it's called more accountability. And Epstein's like, an entire Middle Eastern country is complicit in the selling of children. But remember, this is what we talk about. This is what we talk about all the time with why Islam is such a terrible religion. It's like, it is allowed. You are allowed to have slavery in Islam. You are allowed to. This is why this is okay. They're like, you mean an entire Islamic nation doesn't have qualms with selling minors that said they're okay with marrying minors and they're okay with having slaves and sex slaves. You mean to tell me that they're okay with selling people to Jeffrey Epstein? Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
Who would have guessed?
And again, this goes deep. You know, I mean, if you ever seen that movie American Made with Tom Cruise, you know, it's like the FBI or the CIA was using Tom Cruise to get dirt on people and get dirt on the cartels and take pictures and whatnot. What do you think they told Epstein? It's like, we don't care how you make money. We just care that whenever we call upon you for whatever information we need, that you give it to us.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of lifestyle Jeffrey Epstein led. I'm an informant who has immunity from everything as long as I get dirt on the people that I want or get leverage on the people that the CIA wants me to get leverage on.
Yep.
Again, I guarantee you the American government and the CIA were absolutely complicit in this. Or, you know, even if they weren't complicit, they're like, we're going to look the other way, or we're not going to investigate into what and how you get your dirt on people. We're just, as long as you get us the dirt when we request it, you're good.
Yep. Next thing that I have pulled up here is breaking Epstein file update. Looks like the new mayor of New York was groomed by the best of the best. Wow, straight from the files. And as you can see in this picture, Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos. And there's Zoran Mondani right there with his mom. And she is in the files.
Oh, he's in a picture.
Mm-hmm. So let's pull up this next one here. Somebody has to say it. There's a very real possibility that Zoran Mondani is Jeffrey Epstein's biological son.
Nah. She's too old and too unattractive for Epstein.
Well, this is from back in the day.
But again, remember, Epstein is like Elon Musk to some degree. He thinks that his seed is genetically better than everyone else's. Mm-hmm. You know, he wanted to have a group of underage girls give birth to his progeny so he could send them out throughout the world.
Mm-hmm. Which will start up with this next one right here of Zoran Mondani and his mom. This lady talking about it again, what we were just talking about. She was just talking at the beginning of the show how we opened it. So let's check this out.
This coming, the new Epstein drop reveals that New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani's mom not just attended one of Ghislaine Maxwell's parties, but she had one thrown in her honor. Mamdani's mom, Mira Nair, is a filmmaker, and this was an after party at Ghislaine Maxwell's house to celebrate her movie Amelia. We know this from a 2009 email that was sent from publicist Peggy Siegel directly to Jeffrey Epstein. And this party was in 2009, months after Jeffrey Epstein pled guilty and was convicted for procuring a minor for prostitution and soliciting prostitution. So it's not like he was known in New York as just some successful businessman at this point. In the email, it revealed that Bill Clinton was at this party and Jeff Bezos before his glow-up. It makes you wonder if this is the reason that Trump has been pretty supportive of Zoran Mamdani as New York City mayor. I mean, maybe he used to party with his mom. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. But, I mean, I think Trump just knows that he's got the bigger D in the room and that Zoran really can't do much to Trump.
Yeah, when the guy who's been calling you a fascist, racist, and that I will do everything I can to fight Donald Trump, and he brings you to the White House and you shake his hand, that doesn't look like you're the guy that's like, I'm here to fight Donald Trump.
It's like, I'm in control. I have the power. It's like, no, it's like Donald Trump just made you his little bitch, you know, by you coming in there and shaking his hand. It's like he just did a power play, and you are the weaker person for it.
I think this is the same one, but I'm just going to
It is
check.
the same
Okay,
one.
good. Just making sure. Okay. Now, next one that we have here is Epstein file update. In an unexpected turn of events, the name Al Gore has appeared in the latest Epstein file dump 794 times, second only to Bill Clinton. It makes sense that they engaged in perversion together. Congressional Democrats are burying their heads in the sand. Republicans want answers. And this is what we talk about. Why is it that, like what we just saw in the last video, after he was accused, Democrats seem to have no qualms taking money and donations from evil people?
Yeah, from Jeffrey Epstein. It's like that one lady, what's her name? That lady that represented him in Congress in Florida was texting him mid-congressional hearing.
Mid-congressional
and
hearing.
he was giving her props, goes, good job. You asked a good question, and you phrased it right.
And again, if a Republican was texting Jeffrey Epstein in the middle of trial,
there'd be
Democrats
hell
would have
to pay.
lost their freaking minds.
Look, they're in on it. They were always his drones, his minions.
Mm-hmm. Which we'll get to like this one right here. You sent me this. We'll just start with this meme right here.
Yes, if you know, you know.
Yeah. This is from this is
from a really dark anime called Berserk, and yeah, I mean, you'll see it. There's a lot of demonic imagery here, but yeah, I mean, when you get it, you'll understand it when you see it.
And I'll go ahead and read it. Nothing surprises me anymore. What's probably hiding in the Epstein files, and this is where not the main character, but the main character's best friend, who becomes the antagonist, betrays his entire group of friends
He
to become an
sacrifices
evil
God.
ruler. Yeah. Basically, hell. They get all of his friends and followers get devoured by demons in hell.
Yes.
So that way he can become and ascend
they
to
go,
become a god.
You have a choice. You can have everything you've ever wanted, but you have to sacrifice all of your loved ones to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can continue your pathetic existence as a crippled man. And he sacrifices all the people he allegedly loves in order to get the power of a god.
Mm-hmm. So, and what we have just pretty much following up after this is just how Democrats will always seem to side with the wrong opinions or the bad guys at every single turn. So this first one is like, remember how we were told that the elections weren't stolen? This one's just kind of election related. And this is from the House Federalism, Military Affairs, and Elections Committee.
Believe that people should have to be United States citizens in order to vote in Arizona's elections.
I'm representing an organization and I'm speaking to this bill. I've shared those sentiments.
Does the organization you're here representing believe that people should have to be United States citizens in order to vote in Arizona's elections?
That's a question that I have to go back for that very specific question to get the response because I don't know.
Mr. Chair, that's not an answer.
It is not.
My name is Jody Lee. I'm here on behalf of Lucha.
Does Lucha believe that people should have to be citizens of the United States in order to vote in Arizona's elections?
I believe that I don't have an answer from that directly from Lucha. And I think certainly they believe all taxpayers should have access to democracy.
That was
These
quite a
people are
word
weasels.
salad. People who are non-citizens who are working in Arizona, whether they're here legally or illegally, pay taxes. Does Lucha believe that non-citizens should be able to vote in Arizona just because they pay taxes?
I don't feel comfortable making a definitive statement on behalf of the organization.
Hi, sorry, Caitlin Contreras with the ACLU.
Is it the position of the ACLU that people should have to be U.S. citizens in order to vote in Arizona's elections?
It is the ACLU's position that voting should be fair and accessible and to everyone who is eligible.
What does that
That
mean?
would be a U.S. citizen, yeah.
Do you believe
I
that
restarted.
people should have
Yes. Sickening stuff. Like, remember, this is why we said that it should be voter or citizen population that adds to your congressional
seat,
seats.
yeah.
Because this is absolutely ridiculous that they can increase their numbers by just bringing in a bunch of people that they deem as second-class citizens. Because you're the ones that swear that they can't vote. So either they are allowed to vote and you're letting illegals vote in our elections, or two, you want them to be second-class citizens for forever, and that it'll just increase your district's population size to give you more congressional seats. Those are the only two options you have. Either way is evil and doing wrong. This is why we always argue. This is why we need voter ID. We need to make sure only citizens can vote.
Yep.
And Republicans are the bad guys for asking for that. How dare you ask for such a racist thing?
Yep.
So,
It's insane, man.
mm-hmm. We'll just go on to the next one. Oh, yeah, this one's fun. Panic mode. United Nations warns of immediate financial collapse after Donald Trump shuts money off. Billions of unpaid dues, budget slashed, jobs cut. Turns out the UN was running on American cash all along. And this is what we were just talking about. It's like, your tax dollars are paying to run the European Union and all these other countries.
The UN.
Yeah, exactly. But it's everywhere. Our tax dollars are benefiting other nations and other people's citizenry than they are us as American citizens.
Yes, we're funding other nations' bad economic decisions. Like, not only are we funding terrible economic decisions here in the U.S., and we're funding people who make bad financial decisions. We're funding people who make dumb family positions. We're funding abortion. We're funding all kinds of military intervention in places that probably don't need military intervention. But we're funding other countries as well.
I mean, it's the easiest thing in the world. I forget that guy's name, but that finance guy that, roasts all the people that he brings on his show. It's like, how do you earn more money? How do you make more money or make sure that you're not poor? You spend under your means. Mm-hmm. You spend under your means. That's what he shows all these people. Like, you're spending this much money on coffee. You're spending this much money on eating out. You're spending this much money on vacations. If you reduce that, you would actually not be poor or broke anymore.
Yeah.
That's what it is. If you spend within your budget means, you won't be poor.
Yep.
You can go buy and afford better things. And this is the thing. The U.S. government does not think that way. They go, we'll always have money.
Yeah,
That's especially how the Democrats think.
The government is like, we're the OnlyFans model, and the taxpayers are our pay pigs. We will always have money because we will always have citizens. Mm-hmm. It's like they don't care if they devalue your money because life gets harder for you. It doesn't get harder for the government. None of the government employees were really suffering whenever there were any, because they were all essential. Yeah. We're government employees. We're essential.
Yep. Next one I have here is, again, I will always keep bringing these people up. They rioted for a man killed by Border Patrol, yet say nothing for those killed by illegal immigrants. Democrats at every turn. They refer to ICE as Trump's secret police, even though they've been used by every president since 2001. They blame Trump for all the chaos, yet keep encouraging people to obstruct and antagonize agents. There are outraged that over 600,000 deported by Trump, yet stay silent on the 3 million deported by Barack Obama. They demand justice and jail time for law enforcement, yet won't put repeat criminals behind bars. They call out masked men wanting to see papers when they wouldn't let you into a restaurant without a Vax card and wearing a mask. Mm-hmm. It's not about justice. It's propaganda. And this is 100% the case. Mm-hmm. Which brings me to the next one that I need to pull up real quick here. No, not that one. There it is. The Smith and Mott Act. This is why they are allowed to do this. This is why they're not. The Democratic media is not reporting on certain things. Obama made it legal for the media to purposely lie to the American people. In 2012, how many times have we talked about this?
Yes, the Smith-Mundt Act.
Yeah.
We've talked about it multiple times.
In 2012, he signed the National Defense Authorization Act, Act H.R. 4310/Section 1078, which allowed propaganda to be used on U.S. citizens by its own government, essentially repealing the Smith and Mott Act of 1948, which banned the use of domestic propaganda. And the only reason that we had that domestic propaganda before that was World War II, trying to get people inspired to fight the war. Exactly. Which people to this day will argue that was the most justified war in human history.
Yep.
So, good Lord.
Yep.
But anyway, we'll get back to the next one that I had pulled up here, which this one, again, just more Democratic politicians like being POSs. It has been revealed that the Democratic Charlotte, North Carolina Sheriff, Gary McFadden, refused to cooperate with ICE and Border Patrol on deportations of illegal immigrants. Led his own police officers to transport political officials to strip clubs and topless bars. There's your tax dollars going to good use.
Yeah, he knows who he's pandering to.
Mm-hmm. Next one I have here. Again, we talked about election fraud. Don't worry about the election of Trump. He's not going to win. I made effing sure of that.
Who's this?
Witnessed by the Joe Altman told to Michelle Malcolm. Eric Cromer, Director in Strategy Security for Dominion Voting Systems, talking on an Antifa conference call. This just in, former Dominion executive Eric Cromer has been admitted under oath that he was working with foreign actors during the 2020 election, according to the court documents after his deposition yesterday afternoon. The walls are coming down around everyone involved in the 2020 election.
Yep. I said maybe Trump did win the 2020 election. I mean, where'd those 20 million Biden voters go?
Mm-hmm. So the question I have for this is, if this is breaking, which I don't even know when this was posted. This was posted 6 days ago. Why is the mainstream media, not talking about this? This is what we talk about. It's like what you say all the time to those people. It's like, it's not about what the media is talking about. It's what the media is actively refusing to talk about as well.
Yes.
This is one of those things. Why isn't this all over the internet? Like, if you were in journalism, you'd be like, you mean to tell me that the last election was stolen? Only people who care about truth would care about that. The people who don't care about truth, that only want their political party to win, don't care about truth. You are the villain.
Mm-hmm.
You are the villain. Truth should be the thing that matters at every turn. It's not your side winning. If you only care about your side winning, you're the bad guy. You are the bad guy. You have anything else to say on that?
No. I mean, again, it's the AOC mentality. It doesn't matter if you're factually correct as long as you're morally right. Again, you can't be morally right if you don't have accurate facts.
Correct.
If you don't have the truth, if you don't follow the way, the truth, and the life, then you don't have the right answer. You don't have the right path.
FBI arrests 12 sitting judges who took millions in bribes from the Sinaloa cartel. Bet the liberal news stations won't be discussing this. This is a big win for America. I wonder what political party all these people were probably associated with. Suspicious. All right, what's this one? Oh, yeah. This is from Kevin Bass. 23% of all ICE arrests occur in Texas. Only 2.2% occur in Minnesota. A tenfold difference, yet far more ICE-related violence is happening in Minnesota. Why? Because Democrats are promoting and promoting violence in Minnesota. Democrats do not hate violence. Violence is their goal.
Correct.
100%. Why are you not seeing huge protests like this in the South? In predominantly, we'll say, more centrist to Republican-leaning states. It's because this is what we voted for. This happens all the time in our states.
I know. Again, every time I get on Reddit and I see subreddit Tulsa, like they're like, look at all the people out here standing up for ICE. And there's like maybe 20 people out there.
Yep.
It's like, but they're trying to make it seem way bigger than it is. Like, I mean, even Reddit's like going, those guys are heroes. I wish I could have gone. You know, it's like, but again, there's 20 people that actually show up with signs, and everyone's like, see, Tulsans making their voice heard. And it's like, yeah, there's 12 of you. Congratulations. And again, it's like whenever they say things like Charlie, it's like whenever remember when we went to the Charlie Kirk event at OU? They're going, oh, yeah, look at all 20 people there at Charlie Kirk's thing. It's like they just lie about everything they see. It's like we look at a picture and we go, that's whenever I see those anti-ICE protests in Tulsa, I'm like, that's more people than I thought would show up. But, I mean, it's only like 20, 30 people. That's not a great turnout. And Charlie Kirk literally fills up an entire stadium, and they go, wow, it looks pretty empty. I've seen women's basketball games more crowded than that Charlie Kirk thing. You're like, are you kidding me right now? Like, I was there. I was present in the stadium.
Yeah.
I waited in the line that took hours to get into the building.
That was wrapped almost all the way around the Case. Was it called the Case Athletic Center or whatever?
No,
it is?
that's TU's.
No, yeah, that's TU's. What's the
I
one?
don't know. It's just OU's basketball
Yeah,
facility.
someone will let us know. Some of our friends who went to OU will immediately let us know how wrong we are.
Yeah.
But they held, and this is another great meme right here. They held power for 12 out of the last 16 years, yet they still blame him for everything wrong with the U.S., while claiming they know how to fix it. This is true. Democrats have been in charge in the last 10, 20 years now, more than Republicans, but yet it's the Republicans' fault.
They're the disease, and they're trying to convince you that they have the cure.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely retarded. Next one. Breaking. Georgia illegally certified 315,000 votes in 2020 and gave Joe Biden the win by only 11,779 votes. And that is just in one state. Biden won Georgia by 11,779 votes. Now, over 5 years later, they admit that 350,000. Yeah, 350,000. Sorry, yeah, I'm all over the place. Votes in Georgia were actually counted illegally. Fulton County admits it violated the rules in 2020 when certified that 315K votes early that lacked poll worker signatures.
Yeah, you mean to tell me that whenever we were showing all those videos of people using those tarps to cover up the windows and stuff, that they weren't doing? Again, if you're trying to hide what you're doing from public view and cameras, something's wrong.
Counting votes and covering up daycares to show that you're not harboring children.
Mm-hmm.
Very strange. Places that you would think would be. The Democrats are always like, we need transparency.
Again, it's like sunlight is the best disinfectant, and then they're always trying to block out the sunlight. Again, there are currently legislation going, sorry, you can't investigate states for their own corruption. Like, that's how you know that Democrats are evil. Mm-hmm. It's like, sorry, you can't investigate fraud. Oh, we should have done a whole story about this.
Yeah. This next one, which we probably will next week, but again, and this is happening here in Oklahoma. Look.
Also, notice that they don't state her political affiliation either.
Oh yeah, but the Hodge twins do. Wow, Oklahoma Democrat lawmaker Ajiah Pittman has resigned and pleaded guilty for forgery and conspiracy. Another Democrat caught red-handed. Accountability hits different when it's real. Corruption alert. An Oklahoma Democratic rep Ajiah Pittman just resigned after a guilty plea deal to forgery and conspiracy charges. Another party of integrity lawmaker gone. You can't make this stuff up.
Again, I watched this on the local Fox News affiliate. They did not mention her party affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
None of the places did.
Yeah, you can go online. No place will mention her party affiliation.
Yep.
Ever.
Yep. Again, I guarantee if it was a Republican, they'd be like, white Republican found with his hand in the cookie jar, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just another signal that Trump's America is corrupt.
Mm-hmm. So this goes to show you, the corruption's everywhere, and it's always the Democrats. Like, again, this is why the left has to point out Republican fraud and any wrongdoing, like, nonstop. It's like when you find out that a Republican politician cheated on his wife, or you find out that a Republican politician is having some marital issues or whatever, like what they did with old Pete Hegseth, with like email exchange between his mom and his ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're just like, oh, look at this. Obviously his mom sided with the ex-wife. It's like, are you sure about that, or is she trying to do everything she could to still be able to see her grandchildren?
Mm-hmm.
You know, stay on good terms with the mother of his ex-wife, so that way she can still see her grandbabies.
I can tell you that family life is complicated. And I know I have cousins who don't like their parents, and they go, yeah, my mom and dad are never going to see my kids. And then you know what the mom and dad do, the grandparents do of the parent? They'll go around and try to make buddy friends with the ex-wife so they can see the grandkids. Like, oh, we just want to see them. You know, we'll take them for a weekend. If you and your, new husband want to go on a date night, we would love to have them for, a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, this is how people are. Even though they're kind of being manipulative by going behind the son's back, they're wanting to see and have a relationship with their grandkids. Like, at some point I understand it, but at the same time, it's like if the dad doesn't want you involved, it's like I kind of get his perspective too.
Yeah.
So again, it's this gray area that we live in. But again, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. But yeah. Again, they'd have no standards. If Democrats didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards.
Which brings me to the last meme before we start rolling things up, which, again, this just reminds me of those people that invaded the church. Like, this is literally how Democrats and people try to shame Christians at every turn. And it does work to degrees. I mean, it worked on me when I was younger. Yeah. I was like, yeah, why aren't I being more, forgiving and conclusive and compassionate? But like I said, yeah, look at this. This is the meme from, of course, Inception. It says, if you Christians acted more like Jesus, everyone would love you. And then he looks at him and goes, they crucified Jesus.
Again, how many times have you been in a room where, like, the most morally righteous person, you just roll your eyes at? You're like, oh, my God. Again, I guarantee you a person who lives a perfectly moral life would annoy the crap out of you. You'd be like, I mean, how many of you do you think any of us would actually follow Jesus now? I mean, honestly, like, that's an honest question. Like, remember, like, all the more, again, but the people that we interacted with, they were like morally righteous liberal types, so it's like you don't want to follow them because not only their politics, but because they act like they're so much better than you too. It's like, not only do I act better than you, I am better than you because I do these things, and you're just like,
Well, I mean, if there was, I mean, I'm not saying he's anywhere close to Christ, but we do have someone that you can use as a representation, Charlie Kirk. Yeah. Charlie Kirk did his best to live out the Christian values, at least his interpretation of the Christian values, to the best of his beliefs, and they killed him for it. No different than Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like the only difference is like he was assassinated, whereas Jesus was actively given up and crucified by the people. Charlie Kirk you could argue, had half the population with him, and then the other half of the United States population against him.
Yep.
And they assassinated him versus crucifying him. But still,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, like anybody that does try to live a morally just life like that and is an active speaker against evil and corruption in the world, they try to silence.
Yeah, again, they use Jesus to justify their positions, but again, they're like, that you should not judge. But it's like, yeah, take the beam out of your eye before you take somebody else. But the whole point is, if you've taken the beam out of your eye, you can help everyone else with their sins. It's like, hey, it's like if let's say I struggled with lust or something along those lines, like I repent, I take steps to overcome my lust, and I can help other people who I see are struggling. It's like, no, I'll just have the affair. No, I'll just go and hook up with. I'll just go raw dog randos. It's like I suffered and lived in that same sin that you, my friend, are living in, and if you're willing to take up the cross and you want to be a better person, like again, and they have to want that too. They have to want to have that change in their life. It's like I can help you overcome it. I'm not going to tell you that I'm the way, but I'm going to tell you the things that I did that helped me overcome it. And the left doesn't do that. They just go, accept me for the way I am. And it doesn't matter what I do because Jesus will love me anyway. It's like you have to repent and ask for forgiveness in order to receive the Holy Spirit. You can't just be like, nope, I'm perfect the way I am. The Lord knows it.
Mm-hmm. Which brings me to the next funny meme that I have. And this is for that joke's like, oh, it's the joke of you always hear, if there were women in charge, we wouldn't have war, we'd have peace on earth and all this other stuff. And then, but Drew Carey absolutely like ragdolls that argument right here. And it's fantastic. This is him at one of the presidential, looks like Sunday dinners, or whatever the heck it's called. But check this out.
Party, and somebody said to me, they said, if women ran the world, there'd be no war. It's like, yeah, right. I'm sure no one would start a stupid fight for no reason if women ran the world. Yeah, hi, this is England. How come I'm being invaded? Oh, I think you know why. I saw the way you were looking at France. I was at a party.
Very true. Very true.
That is great.
Again, I mean, the petty arguments that we have with women, the little petty arguments that we have with my wife, I love my wife to death, but yeah, we get in some tizzies over some dumb stuff. I'm like, why? I'll just look at her like, why are you mad right now? Like, I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's
But
just funny.
It's what that preacher said in that one debate. He's like, women will say what they're feeling, guys will say what they're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the big divide is like, oh, if you say what you're feeling, not really a lot you can go there, but a guy will say what he's thinking, which will just piss him off. It's like sometimes women just want to vent.
Yep.
And then other times, because guys are always, this is the thing, guys are problem solvers. Like, what's wrong? How can I fix it? Whereas girls are just like, I just want to complain because I'm sad.
Again,
whatever.
I just want to be alone for a minute. I just want to be angry for a minute. It's like, okay, it's like, again, they have to feel, they have to be in their feels. It's like guys, we're very logical and practical thinkers. Women are very empathic.
But that is why I would argue is why men should be in charge of things because they think of things like we always talk about with the whole. How many times a day do you think about the Roman Empire? And there's like, at least like 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Just like that's like a minimum for guys. Like, and women are like, why would you think like women think that is stupid? It's because you're thinking things through logic. Like, how does this parallel to this? You're comparing two things, whereas women are like, why would you compare those two things? That's stupid.
As Chad said, we're logical thinkers. It's like, I'm going to tell you what I think about this subject because how I feel about it is
Doesn't
irrelevant.
matter.
If I watch a video, if I see the Epstein stuff, like, can I be angry about it? I feel angry about it. But me feeling angry about it doesn't do anything to solve the problem.
Exactly. It's the old question, like, take yourself out of it and put yourself in a bird's eye view. It's the question that you get when you're in your history class and you're actually talking about World War II. It's like, do you think, when they ask you the questions, like, I remember getting asked this question, do you think Hitler was a good leader? And, like, everyone immediately, most people jump up and go, no, he was evil. And just like, and he goes, yes, he was. Retrospectively, we know that. But how do you think an evil man rose to power?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he obviously had to be very charismatic, or he was saying the right things, whatever. But that's the thing. It's like, obviously, if he was not a good leader, you could argue he was at least a good politician and orator.
Yeah. Yep.
But anyway, this brings me to this last one before we'll close out the show. And we just thought that this was funny in relation to. Should I ruin what it's about?
No, just
okay,
let it
just
ride.
play it. All right, we're letting it ride. You need to refresh it. My bad. He didn't say the line.
This is something very interesting. I want y'all to watch this.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
It's interesting that nobody blamed the lightsaber. Yeah, that's how gun control works. I noticed something.
That is 100% true.
Yep.
That is 100% true. Notice how nobody blamed the lightsaber.
Yep. But yeah, before we wrap it up again for today, again, we'll talk about. I wanted to go back to that emotional versus logical argument.
Yeah, go right
again.
ahead.
It's like if you call a guy fat, he'll be like, "Yep, I'm fat. I know it, and I got it. I got to make changes in my life to fix that, to correct that." It's like call a woman fat, she like takes it personal. I mean, again, there are guys who take it personal too, but it's like it's what you do with the knowledge. Because I mean, it's like again, out of the mouths of babes. It's like I remember being around little kids. It's like, and when they see a fat person, they'll let them know. They're like, it's like that lady's fat, mom. It's like stop talking.
Yeah.
How'd that person get so fat? Yeah, and again, it's like kids will not spare your feelings because they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't
From
have
the mouth of babes.
Yes, they don't have the common sense to be like, it's not. I get because they don't care about political correctness. Same as old people, they don't care about political correctness.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just funny again, guys. You call a guy fat, and it's like if they don't do anything to take the steps, like I'm going to take steps and make changes in my life to do it. It's like women, it's like you can get sad in your feels if somebody calls you fat, but the thing is, do you go out and do something about it? Do you correct it?
That's the thing. It's the joke that all the internet like red pill guys or like the what do you call like the dating coach guys will all tell you. It's just like, or they go out. It's just like, does a guy's height matter? And if a girl says yes, they immediately like a guy runs
Pulls
up
out
with
a
a
scale.
scale and goes, "Step on the scale, then."
Yep.
And then they immediately get offended. But that's the other part. Is just like that's the sad reality is your weight you are in control of your weight. You are not in control of your height.
Yeah.
That is one thing. So women, that's the thing. Is like they always point out, women are more petty than men.
Yeah. Again, yeah, this is true. But anyway, long show today. I know it was we kind of were on the Epstein stuff, then we kind of changed subjects a little midway through the show. But again,
it's all relevant.
It's all relevant. It's everything's connected. And this stuff that they released isn't real. I mean, it's real, but it's not like nothing's gonna come of it. The more names we have, it's just like the more people are incriminated, but nothing's gonna come of it because these people are too well connected, too powerful, or the government has dirt on these people, and they're going to utilize this dirt and this leverage on these people when it's convenient to do so.
Yep.
Or if it ever even becomes convenient to do so, they could just have it and then say that they have it and be like, hey, stay in line.
Yeah, it's like they're releasing certain things. Like if they have something that is so hot or so damning on another nation that, like that we can blackmail them for all of time, we're probably not going to get that information.
Yeah. And again, then you have morally bankrupt countries. Like if we had something on China's leader, like if we had, Xi Jinping on one of these sex tapes with a minor, do you think he'd care? He'd be like, I don't give a damn.
Yeah. It's like my people worship me as though I am a god. Like I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Again, all this comes down to it's based on this like moral Christian society. It's like, do you? Because again, if we don't have, if it's Christian values that are causing you to be outraged about this stuff, like if we didn't have this Christian ethos that we grew up in, why would any of us care? It's like, so what? We're all hedonists here. We enjoy. I mean, again, this is the left's philosophy: is pleasure is the only thing that matters in life.
Said things that they consider, they try to make privileges rights at every turn.
Yep. Everybody's entitled to a vacation. Yeah. Everybody's entitled to sex.
Yeah. Water is a right.
Everybody's
Food
entitled to toxic acceptance.
Yeah. It's just like things that have to be provided for you or given to you can't be rights. Like so, health care can't be a right because a doctor has to provide you with health care. Someone has to go get the medicine. Pharmacists have to manufacture the medicine.
Think of it this way. are you going to hold a doctor hostage? Like, my wife's dying of cancer. Like, sir, there's no cure for this cancer. Well, then you're going to sit here and wait until she dies and make her as comfortable as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Don't move. You'll be here until she's gone. It's like, oh, well, I guess that's literally what you're doing. Again, everyone's like, that's not how healthcare system works. I'm going to go, that's what you're asking, though.
Mm-hmm.
When you put the government in charge of it, they're going to hold it at the hand of God. Or they're just going to go, sorry, your particular illness isn't something we cover or have enough money to cover for you. We determine whether or not your sickness is worth caring for.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
just now you know what every veteran feels like when they're just like, sorry, this is not service related.
Yeah. You have back pain? Well, that's not service related. How long were you in? 25 years? Yeah, no, that's just wear and tear, dude.
Said your hearing loss is not service related.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the Twins with Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But that is all we've got for you today. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.
Jesus set me free.
We are for life, we're pro-life, we love life. That's why we give up.
Say? Says Jesus loves the little children.
I love it.